Hey, yo! I'm playing.
All right, Justin, you want to get us started?
Oh, yeah, you gotta do a chair spin.
Oh, I think Larry, you have more energy than me. I think you're good for the starting.
I actually can't chair spin because my mic is connected to my iPad. So if I turn, the whole iPad will turn with it. So I
Okay.
think Kevin has to do it.
Dude, I'm standing up and I have a wire.
Oh, there we
It's
go.
like the
There's the
worst
chair
of both.
spin.
All right, welcome
Okay. All
back,
right.
guys.
Wait, I'll chair spin.
Okay.
Ready? I'm pull my iPad. And welcome back, guys, to the muffin. I'm just kidding. Welcome back to the oven. This is episode 2. My name is Larry, for those who don't know. Wait, I'm a co-host. You're supposed to be saying this part. You haven't.
It doesn't matter who says it. But anyway, we have a special guest today. If you could introduce yourself, what position you play, and let's do a fun fact about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Brian Levy. Thanks for having me on. I didn't know it was a Muffins podcast, so happy to be on episode 2. Justin, great to meet you. I'm a
Nice to
pitcher
meet you as well.
and outfielder wherever else we need a body position wise, but mainly pitcher outfield. Last fall, primarily pitcher. Um, yeah, hit from the left side, always fun. And I don't know, fun fact, I'm originally from a small town in Connecticut and have played in now men's leagues in 3 different states: Connecticut, Pennsylvania,
Jeez.
and California. So, woohoo.
Okay. Okay. So let's dive right in. So obviously, you being the guest lady, I'm going to be asking you a couple questions. To start, I
Sure.
want you to describe your process in joining the Muffins, how it felt, transitioning from one team to another. And yeah.
Yes, I think it all started with getting to know the two of you, right? I think, I had a brief summer, I think in 2022 for a game or two, and then came back in the fall of that year. I think we all got to know each other, but then, and then had a crazy summer in our D2 team in our previous franchise. And I think all had like similar experiences, right? I think Kev, you described, I think last episode a bit like being the manager of a team and then finding out you're not completely the manager of a team. And
Yep.
I was the starting pitcher of a team. Lo and behold, to find out I wasn't the starting pitcher of a team, right? So we went through kind of a really fun, like successful summer as a team. Uh, and I got to start the championship game, so that was fun. But yeah, I had a similar experience. I think you all had the previous summer, where this past year I was the manager of a D1 squad, but then also was really just the peacekeeper of a D1 squad. Had a bunch of guys who weren't the most. What did the coach for the Raiders say last weekend? A bunch of guys chose to make business decisions. He wouldn't name names. Uh, Something like that, right? You're trying to get guys to show up to get invested, and as a result, our team record kind of suffered a bit. So uh, I think I've been trying to. I was joined you guys for the fall last year, both to get out of our old situation and just to have some fun. And we had a great group. Probably the most fun I've had playing baseball in a few years. Definitely since I've been in California. You guys are just so free and easy,
Yeah.
so easy going. It's so much fun. You kind of just let us be ourselves, and you know, uh, you know, your preparation and like how much you do kind of behind the scenes really helps just go up and play baseball, right? And then yeah, so trying to beg, borrow, and steal my way onto the Muffins into the spring, into this fall, and we finally were able to make it happen. And excited to be a Muffin again.
Yes, sir.
And
Can we
then
clap it up for Coach Kev?
yeah, yeah,
Amazing,
clap it up for
amazing
Coach
I
Kev.
guy.
didn't do anything.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
uh, I don't know. And then you talked a bit, asked me a bit about my process. I don't know. I have to. I think. I don't know if I'm definitely not the oldest Muffin because I know we just drafted a couple guys. One of whom is older than me, so that's good. But I'm definitely, I'm 32. Not a young Muffin anymore. It's fine. But I have to, flexibility is
Yeah, you
key.
are.
Working out. Hey, thanks, appreciate it. Working out between weekends, putting the work in. I throw pens in long toss like once a week. I'm a coach of a college club team, which is awesome. So I end up long tossing and throwing a couple days a week, which is good. Staying in shape and things, and then try to have a plan going into each weekend. So I'm not a psychopath. I don't know all of every hitter on each team or anything and like what their tendencies are. Maybe a bit more this year than in previous, but just trying to approach it like, throwing strikes, hitting Larry's glove, trusting him behind the plate, and trusting the guys in the field. So,
Sir,
and
I
being
wanna.
a team guy. Yeah.
That's good. I want to bounce off your statement where you said you were originally a starting pitcher, and then you come to find out you weren't. And we noticed. Obviously, we played on the same team together. That summer of 2023. And obviously the having it being poorly managed, whatever. What was that like, having your pitching time kind of taken away from you in transition to the fall, where in a sense people can kind of say the Muffins maxed you out, or kind of like constantly had you throwing? So how did that feel,
It's interesting. I think I was ready for the fall. I think throughout the summer, obviously like disappointing going in, and you kind of understand the role after a few weeks, right? So it doesn't really change though. You're ready. You try to get ready to pitch. You try to put the same prep work in. You're going to spot start here and there. So just doing that, you're going to come into the pen and come in from the pen and into the game and not let any runs in or anything like that. So some high leverage situations, but then you move, like you said, moving into the fall, it's all right. I know I'm taking the ball every 4 or 5 days, 6 days, whatever it is, and just, I ramped up a bit more. So it was, just felt good. You got to flip that switch earlier, right? If you're coming in out of the bullpen into a game, you go 0 to 100. You're starting. You kind of set the tempo and everything. I think there were a couple rough innings the beginning of a couple of our games in the fall, but I was able to hit a groove pretty quickly, and we had put a nice run together, put ourselves in a good spot for the playoffs. So
is that a pitcher thing? I'm stuck in a call with 3 different pitchers right now. I have no clue what you guys are talking about. You guys talking about rhythm, tempo.
Tempo is like how fast the game goes. That's all. That's all in the pitcher. So get the ball, throw the ball. Don't sit there or don't stand there and think about things. Don't count the clouds or order yourself food. Just get the ball and throw the ball. Get your sign and go. But
do you approach the game differently as like a starter versus as a reliever? Like in terms of tempo, are you more fast paced as a starter or slower pace, or is it just all the same? You typically work the same speed?
Typically work the same speed. I think as a reliever, you come in and you don't want the guys in the outfield who just have to stand there during your pitching change to start wondering when things are going to happen. So just get the ball and get in there and just start going. And then same as a starting pitcher, you want to get in. If you're the home team, you want to bring your guys in to hit. So, just get the ball, throw the ball. Be smooth and like relax a bit as much as you can. I try to be zen on the mound. I'm kind of I don't know. I like to think of myself as one of those pitchers who's kind of a weirdo in some aspects. A little quirky, a little out there, but you're just at the end of the day, you're a team guy. Or I'm a team guy. I try to be pick guys up. No reason to show a ton of emotion. Don't get upset with guys when they drop a fly ball or something stupid or anything like that. But and then it all pays off. I think in that semifinal game we had in the fall, we had guys like making incredible plays in the first inning. I think 2 diving plays in the first inning, which was insane. So, you just pick your guys up and they help you out. It's good.
I remember that. But I heard that me not being a pitcher, but like I heard that being a starter and reliever is actually different. Like the approach is different. So it's interesting to see that you say that you go into it with the same mindset, because I hear a lot of other pitchers say that, when they're relieving a game, they're just going to empty the tank. Rather, when they're starting, it's all about sustainability.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. If you're coming in relief and you have 1 inning versus you may have to go 5 to 7 innings. Yeah, that's true. It's a bit different. But the goal, I think, is you put in enough work or workouts between things so that you can do both without any trouble. Right? You should be able, if you need to go max effort in the first inning, you should be able to carry that through like 5 or 6 innings. You really need to, rather than just coming in and, throwing as hard as you can for 12 pitches or 4 pitches and calling it a day. But yeah, some guys do treat it a lot differently, but I don't know. Try to treat it the same.
And with
Otherwise,
pitch count too. Pitch count. That's important. Minimizing and monitoring your pitch count.
Well, actually, is that something that you monitor like throughout a game, or do you just go after like the end and you just look at your box
Or
score?
is it feeling? Or is it a feeling thing? Yeah, like, oh, I keep going based on this. Oh, what is that? Because if you guys don't know, or I don't know if you know this, Justin, but Levy actually threw a complete game in our playoff game in the fall against the Royals. He threw all 9 innings, and it was
the damn ball.
Yeah, it was actually crazy. Okay, let me go on this. Let me prepare myself. Let me get the mic in my hand. It was actually crazy because he did a job, right? He pitched 9 innings of the first game.
Oh God!
So we didn't have to waste another pitcher, right? Right,
Yeah.
right, Coach Kev? And then we come into the fucking championship game, and guess what?
Oh,
We have
God.
a full arsenal of pitching ready, right? We got Coach Kev, and then he comes in and he cramps in the second inning.
Screw off.
I think
That's rough.
I think we could cut Coach Kev some slack. I think that playoff format is not ideal. Do it Saturday, Sunday if you really have to, but like the doubleheader format's a little rough.
I'm just kidding, Coach Kev.
Yeah, we had a guy. Our pitching formula all year was me, Sammy Figueroa, and then a combination of Kev, or like a couple other guys. And Sammy got hurt, so we had like 3 arms for 2 games. Plus like I think we had DJ too, so we had a couple arms, but it was just like, how do we get? The team we're playing second is going to be much better than the team we're playing first. Not the shit on the first team, right? But it was just like, how do we get the ball to these other guys? And then, I think it's a combination of feel and pitch count, right? Also, last start for like a month or two, because after the season ends, we got some time before the spring one starts. But I think I threw like 117 pitches or something like that. But at no point was like a long inning. I think, if you can stay in the like 10 to 15 pitch range, 20 pitch range per inning, then you can go 8 or 9 innings. And then you look up and you're in the, I'm terrible with keeping track of innings during the game. So you kind of need to check the pitch count though to make sure you're not blowing out your elbow at the first start of the year or anything.
Yeah.
Anything crazy. But yeah, it worked out, and then some days you'll look up and you have 8 Ks over 5 innings. Some days you look up and you have 4 over 9 or something like that. But yeah, it was great. I don't think I had my slider that day, to be honest. I'm looking back at videos, and I very rarely threw out for a strike. But yeah,
I don't remember.
It was a while ago.
It was a year ago. Oh no, almost a year.
Was it? Yeah, that's kind of crazy though. 1 year already.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to transition over to, I guess anybody can answer this really, but what makes a good baseball player, right? Like, are we talking attributes, mindset, skills? What sort of qualities? I mean, Levy, you were in the draft, right? In the tryout, you went to it and you saw some of the guys. How did you distinguish, which ones you would choose compared to others?
Yeah, I think you need a good combination of all of those, right? I think you can have I think the Diamondbacks took that lefty who was incredible, but also could be a bit difficult of a person, or maybe wasn't a great mesh automatically with like all of your teammates. And there are a couple of those guys there, the tryouts who showed up and didn't thought this was more of an amateur or pro-am league rather than an amateur league or something like that. So I think getting folks who understand what you're, as a buy-in into what you're doing, this is a men's league. We're looking for guys who are willing to be part of a team and willing to kind of, we pay to play in this league. So willing to cover the league fees, willing to show up, that type of stuff, that. And then we had the first overall pick in the spring. So ours was trying to, how do we sift through the 200 some odd players who show up to find somebody who can fit into a D1 team pretty easily. We thought we had him, and then he blew out his elbow in the first game. So, you win some, you lose some. Sorry, Justin. We maybe should have picked you instead. But yeah, but I don't know. You try to find somebody who's like a good team guy, a good character guy, but also like has some of. You try to identify a need going into what you're looking for on the tryouts, and then try to find somebody who fits those, checks off a lot of those boxes, or as many of them as you can. Because it's like, it's the tryout it's a very comprehensive like showcase style tryout. So there's like sprinting and fly balls and throws from the outfield, and then infielders throw from the infield, and everybody takes BP, and then pitchers throw to catchers, and some of these catchers have not caught in years, but they're in there with gear on, and everybody's got little pocket radar guns, and so you try to figure out what those numbers mean in that environment and all that stuff. But yeah, you just got to sift through some of the noise, make a plan going in. But
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. But
yeah.
now I got a question for all you guys. All right, would you rather have a pitcher, okay, that throws super hard but is super wild, right?
Not
And
that one.
he's got some good stuff. No, he's got good off speed. It moves like crazy, right? But you can't locate it. Or would you rather have someone that throws much slower, can hit his spots, but his stuff isn't the best and it's more flat?
Mm.
We can go around it and just say what you guys think. Because I think we all have different, point of views, right?
Yeah, I'll go, I guess. I think I'm kind of biased because I don't really throw the hardest. I think just in general, location and being able to hit your spots is key in this league. Because we faced some pitchers that threw harder, but they would walk guys, and then once we would get guys on base, once we have the heart of the order up, if we have guys on base, chances are we're knocking them in. Because I feel like a large portion of our lineup at least can hit some of that higher velocity. So if they're not hitting their spots and they're either A, walking guys, or B, hanging their breaking balls, no matter how good they may be, good hitters are going to take advantage of that. Whereas if you have a guy who may not have as much velocity, but is consistently pounding the outside corner or pounding it at the knees, they're going to ground out. They may not have the flashy strikeout stuff, which that can hurt if you have guys on base and you really need a strikeout in that situation. But and also assuming you have a good defense too, that can make some plays. I think it's more important that you're throwing strikes and uh, hitting your spots. But yeah, again, I'm biased because that's kind of my mindset going in, just like locate my off speed, try and hit the corners, not leave anything over the plate. And I don't strike a lot of guys out, but I got a ton of ground outs this year and we had a solid defense. So I don't know. That's just my mindset as a pitcher because that's how I approach the game. But definitely curious. I also do think it is important to have one guy who can throw pretty hard. But again, it's not like it's going to make or break the team, but it's always good to have. And then you can bounce that slower pitcher off the guy who's throwing hard, and then that really disrupts with their timing as well.
Counterclaim. But like, okay, I understand that, and honestly, to be honest, I agree. Considering like I'm a catcher, and it's significantly easier catching someone who can hit their spots. I'm pretty sure everyone here, you guys know, I enjoy catching the three of you guys, and you guys hit your spots for the most part. So it's obviously makes the job easier for me, and it's significantly more fun. But then again, when you have someone who can ramp it up to that velocity and doesn't have command, I feel like that is, um, it's easier to train versus trying to get that person at a lower velocity to train to throw harder, you know? And it's like, if you can't command, repetition, practice, and maybe one day you hit your spots. But if you're saying that dude is like not can't help him, like he doesn't hit his spots, like he got like 30% strike rate, then obviously not.
Yeah, I guess I'll hop in. I hear both the cases here, right? So I think I'm confident that I can train the wild person to hit their spots. And I'm also pretty confident we can tick the velo up slightly on the guy who can command the zone. So I don't know, I'm torn. I've never been somebody who's lit up a radar gun, right? Like I sit at a pretty steady range. I think I've thrown a little harder this year than I did last year. But yeah, I think I'll probably go with the guy who can hit spots. I think in this playing at both the D2 and D1 levels, especially in our league, maybe it's different when you're playing if you play in like the World Series tournaments in Arizona, obviously, or like some of the other tournaments around. But I don't know. There are so many guys we're going to be pitching in our fall league or who pitch in the summer who don't throw the hardest but hit spots and dominate. So, I'd probably go with that person. Probably.
Okay. So would it matter if it
Wait, you
was
didn't answer the question. You didn't answer the question, coach.
Oh, my answer is easy. It's the one that throws strikes. No, like velocity is good and all, right? But at the end of the day, no defender wants to, set up pre-pitch for like 100 pitches in an inning, right? And it's also tough to watch walks, right? You can't defend a walk. It's as simple as that, right? Like I as any sort of defender, I mean, even as a fan, right? It's kind of hard to watch the game when it's just ball four, ball four, ball four, right? But now if this velocity was kind of held back in order to have more command, then I feel like obviously the guy with more potential in the velocity is better. But usually if guys are just trying to pump it as hard as they can, that's probably not a starter, right? And so that was going to be my next question, whether or not it's more important as a pitcher to have that velocity or command. And it depends on which end of the game. Wanted to get your guys' feedback on that.
I think it's a good point. Yeah, I think also like probably set parameters around too. Like I think you need a baseline of velocity, right? In our league, like this is not a pro league, right? You don't need to be sitting in the 90s to be successful. But I think also like if you're sitting in the 60s, that could be an issue, right? So you need a baseline of something. Just because at a certain point, guys will adjust. It may take them several innings, but they might adjust. So I think like a baseline velocity within a range. I don't want to define the range because
Can you define the range for me? Can you define the range for me?
Okay, sure. So 72 to like 78. If you're within that range and you get your spots, then I don't have a problem with taking that guy over somebody who can touch 92, right? But has no idea where it's going. At the same time, we could probably I think the 92 guy is probably better as a reliever. And then that guy in like the 68 to 75 range, probably we'll change it a little bit, is probably perfectly fine as a starter. That's different if you're a lefty, though, right? If you're a lefty, you can probably get away with it a bit more.
I can. If you guys didn't know, I can ramp it up to 105 with my left hand on a good day. You guys saw me during live ABs. Everyone was shaking. My batting average was at 0. Actually, no. Actually, Levy got one hit off of me. Actually, no. That was a line out to first base. Yeah, no. 0.
But Justin, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the subject.
I mean, truthfully, like every situation is different, right? And I agree mostly with what you say. I mean, like if some guy can throw hard more often than not, they're going to be used in the back end, right? And we've seen plenty of times where that kind of backfired, right? Like, I mean, just look at the Giants, Duvall. I mean, 101 is crazy, but this past season, I feel like he hasn't hit a single spot, and he hasn't really fulfilled his role as a closer.
The Giants suck, bro. The Muffins could run the Giants over. What are you talking about?
Just
new GM Buster Posey. So.
Did the Giants make the playoffs? No, but the Muffins did.
Let's set up the scrimmage.
The Muffins made the postseason. I don't see the Giants doing that. So bad they have to bring back Buster Posey to be your freaking president.
Their only hope.
That is crazy, though. It's good for them.
No, it's not.
You don't like that move?
Oh, no, I don't care. I'm not a Giants fan. I'm not a Giants fan.
What team are you a fan of?
Hold on.
Is he grabbing a hat or jersey?
No, probably.
Ooh, this should have been my item, man.
You're an Astros fan?
Yes, sir.
How did that come to be?
2019, watching them, they did lose in the World Series against the against the Nats, but like, I'm a sick Astros fan. I got it that Springer should be in the Hall of Fame. He sucks now, but like he should have been in the Hall of Fame. Dude's the best player
Connecticut
alive.
native.
Dude is the GOAT. Should I keep this on
As a
for the rest of
diehard
it?
Yankees fan, I won't won't hold that against you. 2019 was completely different at my end. We're watching guys turn around 105-mile-an-hour fastballs like we know it's coming, and then we find out a couple years later they did know it was coming. So
Yeah, I remember that.
I
That's
thought that was
crazy.
only in 2017.
no, they did it like 2017 through like 2019. They would have done it in 2020, but COVID. So
Ooh. It's okay.
Yeah.
Still an Astros fan. I don't care what you guys think. But on that note, there's been a big change. I like you can like scroll on YouTube and you can find there's significant changes from how the game is played, both on and off the field. Even from like 2017, 2018. And like I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think are the biggest changes from, obviously me and Kev are in different generations than you guys. What was the game like being played when you guys grew up versus, obviously we're going to talk about how it was for us, but like the bats, the equipments, the drip. First things first, yeah, let's make it interesting. What drip did you guys have growing up? What was you guys' drip? Because I'm a strong believer, man. Drip over skill. You can suck ass, but if you're drippy, all that matters.
Oh my God.
I can go 0 for 4, but look dripped out. I'd rather go
No.
4 for 4 and wear nothing but just my jersey.
I'm
Yeah,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna ask what baseball generation would you put yourself in? Like what time period we talking?
Oh man,
Ooh.
I'm 30. I just turned 30
Okay.
in August. So really started playing and watching baseball like early 2000s. So trying to think.
All right.
Yeah, like early to mid 2000s, right on like the tail end of the steroid era into this
Mhm.
new era of baseball. I guess I would say like the there's a lot of big differences. Obviously, pace of play has changed. Like you have the pitch clock now, you have the runner on second. I would say like growing up, the unwritten rules were like a huge part of the game. Like I feel like there are a lot more hit by pitches. Just if anyone was trying to like pimp a home run or something like that, or show any kind of emotion. I was never really a big fan of that. I don't know, I always liked seeing a player that had flair. I mean, like now you see like Fernando Tatis Jr., you see like Juan Soto, like all these younger guys. They show a lot of emotion in the game. You see a lot of bat flips, Jazz Chisholm, all these guys coming up. Um, I love that. I think if you give up a home run, and like I'm a pitcher too, so like obviously if I give up a home run, I'm pissed. But if you give up a home run, they deserve to celebrate. I think there's nothing more sick than like an epic bat flip.
You know what's
But yeah,
crazy?
I
Trevor Bauer said the same thing.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly.
Hmm.
I know he plays with a lot of emotion too.
Yeah. But sorry
Yeah.
to cut you off. Continue.
No, that's it. I would say, well, in terms of like what else is different from like a talent standpoint, I mean, obviously like we have all these analytics now and it's a lot more technical than it was back then.
For
So,
sure.
I mean, you have managers making moves based off of insights and you have GMs making roster decisions based off of insights as well, which like sometimes it works really well. In like the case of the Rays, like they don't have the highest payroll in baseball, but they invest heavily in like the analytics. I think they're the ones who started like the openers,
Mhm.
or at least like early on, they were more popular in bringing that to the game more regularly. Um, and sometimes it works with like the Rays, like they've consistently made the playoffs over the years. And then sometimes it doesn't. Like with the Giants, like you have the one outlier season of the 107 wins in the Farhan Zaidi era, and then now he's fired, and he got fired, and they were roughly around 500, and you had like a bunch of these plug and play guys, which like they kept the team afloat, but they didn't have any stars, no real big name guys that you can depend on to hit like 30 home runs or like drive in 80 to 90 RBIs a year. And I think you need that. So yeah, I think the way teams approach the game is very different. I love numbers, so I'm like interested in the analytics and the insights of it, but I think you need a fine balance of people in the organization that go based on fuel and based on their gut with some sort of analytics. How you find that balance remains to be seen. I mean, some teams have figured it out, but yeah, I don't know. Those are some of the biggest differences off the top of my head.
Real important question though, drip wise, what are we talking? What
Oh
is
yeah,
literally Justin?
I
Yeah.
totally just forgot about that. Yeah, I had no drip
Oh, come
growing
on,
up.
Justin.
No,
Oh,
I
come
swear.
on. I'm
No,
just kidding.
I was very bland. I didn't even have like those fighting necklaces.
Mm.
I had nothing.
Oh,
I didn't even wear batting gloves. I just showed up in my uniform. Sometimes I'd wear eye black, but that's about as
That's
far
drip.
as it would
That
go.
is maximum drip right
Um,
there.
I always made sure though that I had like Nike cleats. As I got older, I would do like Mizuno sometimes, but I'd have to have like a popular brand. I'd do like Nike. I'd do like a Nike undershirt, something like that. I was a big Nike guy. But now I mean like as I've gotten older, I don't really care about that as much. But yeah, not a big drip guy. I wish I could pull it off. I just don't think I'm brave enough to do it. I did wear the armband though for our tournament.
Nice.
I wore that except for when I was pitching, but and then I wore batting gloves this year because I kept getting blisters on my hands, so that was more of a necessity. But I used to be I used to be really superstitious, and I felt like when I would wear batting gloves, I would strike out. So I don't know. I probably just wasn't practicing enough because hitting you need to hit every day. But I like to blame it on that because I thought I was superstitious. So I just went the longest time without wearing batting gloves. But now I'm kind of over it.
I want to sidetrack a bit. We'll come back to this, but like, I don't like superstition. And that's what I realized. Baseball has made me
and
so freaking superstitious. And it's so bad. I don't know if anyone can relate with me. I'm literally like, I get up out of bed on the week of our playoffs, and I'm like folding my blanket, and I'm thinking in my head, oh shit, last week I folded my blanket like this and I did good. So I got to make sure I do it like that. And like freaking hate that I think like that. And then if I don't, or like I'm hitting in the cages, I'm like, oh, last week when I said last four to let the batter know, I went like this, but now I'm doing this. So what if I hit bad today? Is it because I went like this? And like everything makes me so freaking. It got so bad to a point where at one point I would go to bat with an arm sleeve. I would keep like 3 in my backpack. If I get out, I would like switch it. Even to this day, wearing my sliding mitt, if I get out, I flip my sliding mitt or put it to the other pocket. And I hate superstition. I'm just trying to like shy away from that, but I can't.
Throughout my entire life has been superstition. It's how every day I do the same things. Baseball day, baseball it starts like a couple of the day I throw during the week to what I do the night before to what I pack in my bag, what undershirt am I wearing? Yeah,
Oh, the almonds. You always munch on those
yeah,
before the game. The Cliff
the
Bar.
almonds. I always have snacks between innings. Yeah, it's usually the same snacks between innings. Yeah, man, I'm super. Yeah, too superstitious. It's taken over my entire life, but it's so as long as I can remember, so I've gotten used to it.
Where'd you get the
Uh,
almonds? Costco.
Costco, yeah,
Yes.
roasted salted almonds for like $12. That massive bag. Way to go.
Nice.
Let's see. So, all right, Justin, I'm about to say I'm 32, so a couple of years older. I started playing baseball pretty young though, so like 3 or 4. So probably like mid to late
Jeez.
90s, early 2000s is probably my like era of baseball. The only drip things I can remember. Remember those Manny Ramirez pants, the Rawlings Pro Flares?
Oh
Some guys would
yes.
put them into like the back spike in their cleat. I was not that guy,
uh,
but
Kevin,
I
stop
had
nodding
the
your
I had the
head like
pants.
you know what he's talking about.
No,
I was like, you weren't even born.
he's talking about the long pants, and then it
Yeah.
like wraps around your heel, right?
Yeah. A couple of the Mets guys do it. I was just watching that Mets Braves doubleheader yesterday, so a couple of those guys do it.
Oh.
Yeah. But the early 2000, like the 2010s version were like there were super baggy pants, and either you stretch them around your cleat or you just let them sit, but they were like parachute pants, which was hilarious. And yeah, I had a flight necklace too. But other than that, trip wise, that was pretty much it. Um, what was the rest of the question? Oh yeah, era of baseball. So let's see. So I don't know. As a pitcher, growing up as a pitcher, getting back into baseball, there's so much more tech involved now. Everybody has analyzed their throwing motion and then broken it down in a lab and then can like build themselves back up to throw 90 miles an hour. You either could or you couldn't. You could either long toss for all of your life or throw with a weighted ball or whatever. But at a certain point, you're either getting Tommy John surgery or you're that's about as hard as you're throwing. So that's probably the biggest difference. And then also like launch angle and stuff. You know, a lot of line drive hitters back in the 2010s who came back into a men's league or who like got back into baseball are now home run hitters because they realized that if they just let the ball travel or hit the different quadrant of the back of the ball instead of making solid contact, they can backspin it. It just, you know, all of the tech stuff involved, I think has changed it a bit. And then like, I don't know, being a Yankees fan, hating the Astros, but the analytics stuff, like you're talking about, Justin, like
Scoreboard.
their shortstop is never playing in straight up in a shortstop position. So as a pitcher, you'll see a ground ball right to the shortstop, but he's playing either behind second base or 4 steps from the third baseman, and it's a base hit. And it's like after 150 some odd games, you'd think you'd move the guy over to the either in the hole or just like a straight up playing shortstop. But so a lot of the analytics stuff I think has changed definitely. But
You know what it is? I'm gonna be the biggest hater right now. I'm hating earlier. I'm gonna hate now again.
sure.
Private coaches, I don't like that. I stand against that. Like, not like I hate when people think it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go work with this guy. You know, he played for the MLB, and then you go in and then you see what they're doing. All they're doing is like you see a little 10-year-old kid hanging off a tee for like an hour, and the coach is trying to break his swing down. Like, oh yeah, this is what I did back then, so you should like drop this and drop that. Like people don't realize, and they fail to realize that each player plays differently. And if you want to use that comparison to the major leagues, like you see so many players with funky swings. You know, like no one's gonna have that you know what generic swing. No one's gonna have that like Christian Yelich lefty swing or something. Like you're gonna have people having funky swings but still getting the job done. And it's all about being able to feel comfortable with your swing and getting your job done. And that's why like I'm such a big hater on the fact that people charge $120 just to hit off a tee and say, hey, let me tweak your backhand to move it up or down. When in reality, you should just be like, let me get your timing straight, or let me change things that are possibly lagging in your swing or something.
Funny, I had a personal coach for like I didn't do it until going into high school, I think. But the guy he played AAA ball and had a cup of coffee with the Angels. And his whole thing, and I'm not going to say his name because God forbid he learns how to use YouTube and finds this. But his whole thing was like he was a lefty hitter. Was he a lefty? May have been a righty. Honestly, I don't remember. I think he was a righty actually. But his whole thing was, well, no, I think he was a lefty. Yeah, sorry, he was a lefty. Anyway, whole thing was he'd sit on his back leg and sit in his legs, and then would just churn and burn with his lower back and generate insane amounts of torque and power. He taught this to, I don't know, an entire generation of baseball players. And now we all have lifelong back injuries because that's how he flamed out of pro baseball was he blew up his back taking all of these swings because you're not made to do that. So I will say it gave me a very nice lefty swing. It just like refined what I was doing and, you know, made me know how to get my hands in time and everything and generate some more power. But yeah, I think now that I've done it, I will never send my kids to a private lesson of coach or anything because my parents made enough of that investment. I've learned enough of it where I can watch a quick tutorial or something and just like give that lesson myself and would never pay that much for it. But you're completely right. It takes any individuality completely out of like your throwing motion or your hitting motion. When in reality, like good coaches just be like, all right, you're not seeing the ball at the plate. Well, try this. Change your front foot or something. And then you're good.
Yeah, you come
Or
to Muffin Baseball, we'll get your swing right. Not those other.
yeah.
You come to Muffin Baseball, we'll get your swing right. Yeah, we're the only good coaches here. Actually, no, Coach Kev. Coach Kev. That's the only coach. But like, yeah.
Coach Kevin, Papa Muffins BP.
Yeah, you know what?
Get you
Yeah.
going.
Nah, nah. Yeah, it's just Papa Muffin. That's it. I forgot. Sorry. No Coach Kev, just Papa
Yeah,
Muffin.
I'm no hitting coach. Hitting is strictly just a feeling, in my opinion. All right.
Mhm.
But like one big difference I did see, before I feel like the use of pitching machines wasn't so common. Right?
Mhm.
It was mainly front toss and whatnot. But now I mean the new introduction of I don't know the name of that pitching machine, but apparently all the MLB pitchers are trying to get it banned because it really
Oh, it's
simulates.
because you put in like the pitch logic numbers for all the repertoire of anybody's pitches. And then all
Yeah,
of a sudden you're facing Justin Verlander or
right.
Skullbull and the Tigers or whoever just because a machine can replicate it. Yeah, it's
They
wild.
can have some of us. They're facing
There's some of
Justin
us, yeah.
Rogers from the Muffins.
That'd be wild.
That is
We can
crazy
create one
though.
of those. That's a future thing we're gonna do. We're gonna invest our money, our time into and our effort. Yeah. Watch, this is foreshadowing right here.
Yeah.
This foreshadowing may take a couple of years, but this is foreshadowing.
Sponsors come sponsor us. You
What
need money
sponsor
for
would you
that.
have? What sponsor would you have?
Mm.
Well, it depends on what equipment.
I'm saying Evo Shield, man.
Evo Shield for everything?
No.
I've never heard of Evo Shield shoes. Like shoes, I
If
don't
you
know
could,
what it
if
is.
I could choose one, I don't know. I don't even want to say Nike because,
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
because
you can't just
yeah.
choose one. It's
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah.
like
If you have
from
to
a
choose
whole
one,
bunch.
you have to choose one, and don't say Nike. That Nike is too
The New
common.
Balance.
New Balance is
New
Oh
good,
yeah,
Balance
but
New
is a good
Balance
Balance.
one.
would be mine. I
I
love
like
their
New Balance.
shoes.
no,
Yeah.
but like you got to use it for everything. Like there's no New Balance gloves.
Ooh.
I'm
Well, I
thinking
think they make
Under
one for
Armour. I'm
Shohei.
thinking Under Armour. I think
Under Armour's
show.
a good one.
I
Under
think
Armour
it's
has
like
their own gloves.
it's pretty low key. It's
They
not
do.
that
Yeah.
common to be sponsored by Under Armour as a ball player. At least I don't see many.
Could do Rawlings everything. They used to make, if you guys
Rollins is
remember
good.
those Oakland A's cleats, the white ones from back in the day with the flap. I think those were Rawlings or Reebok cleats,
Uh,
one of the two. But I think Rawlings used to make
I
cleats.
think
But
that's
yeah, I would do
Rawlings.
Rawlings for everything. Yeah.
Rollins would be solid, but they don't have like arm guards or leg guards.
I think
From a
they
glove
did.
standpoint, it's nice.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's different. And then like I would
Mhm.
say Evo Shield for like a hitting standpoint. Evo Shield helmets are not bad. Here, the hand one's essential too.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of which one has the most drip. What?
Oh my gosh.
We didn't even finish that topic. I think it's Coach Kev's turn. What's your thought process on drip?
Wait, oh, uh, like growing up, I started baseball when I was in like sixth or seventh grade, so I was like 13 or so. This was like back in 2012, right? And so yeah, I remember I got my bat from Big Five. It was like a little skinny orange Easton bat.
Oh,
Those
there we
great.
go.
That
Hey,
thing,
right.
Oh,
like the I feel like the old bats were really high pitch, right? And now it's more like a solid kind of two-piece sounding.
they're still
Well,
loud,
But yeah,
man.
I played high
wait,
school with Beezer
I
bats
Yeah, I
growing
was
up.
just gonna
So
ask you. Oh my
yeah.
God, you guys selling the
yeah.
Beezer bats, huh?
Yeah, I have two in Connecticut. When I go back for Thanksgiving, I'll bring them back. I have two Easton Stealth. They're not the composite ones, but they're the
Yeah, it's
two-piece
the orange one.
like alloy ones. No, I have the green one and the blue one.
Okay,
The alloy stiff ones. So I'll bring those back. It's a
I
32,
heard those are
32. But
so
they are,
much better.
yeah, it's night and day for I never played with a BB core. I don't think I've ever hit with one. I've hit with one like a handful of times, but never in a game. It's wild.
Some are nice
But
now.
Yeah, I think they started the move to BB Core like halfway throughout when I was in high school. I think like probably like my sophomore or junior year is when they switched to BB Core because there was a player that got hit in the head
mm,
in Marin. I think he went to Marin Catholic. But yeah, those bats back in the day,
They're
huge
juiced.
difference. Yeah. Yeah, stealth was definitely like the main one, obviously. I had a DeMarini F2. That bat was pretty sick. That was like the first time I heard of a double barrel bat. I love that bat.
Mm.
I had that, and then I had a composite bat later on. It was called like the Catalyst. I think it was like purple and green.
Catalyst, yeah.
That one was nice too.
Let's see. I don't remember the first BB core bat. Actually, it was Kevin's. It was a Worth. I don't even know what it is. A Worth bat, and then on the thing
That
it
wasn't
said,
BB core.
"Oh, not BB core. Big bear. That was a big barrel bat. That was the first. That was the first time I was because
No,
when I was 10 or something, we had tournaments and we weren't allowed to use big barrels. We had to use the skinny barrels.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys like when the Mako first came out. Do you guys know like the Mako Torque? Those
That's
those
the spinny
bats.
one, the spinny handle
Yeah,
one.
that's actually the
Mm.
bat that actually fixed my swing. A lot of people swing like fist to fist. I go like this. It actually taught me to fix
Mhm.
my swing. But
Mm.
yeah, those bats were very common. You'd show up to a tournament and then you see the opposing team. They have like a hoe on the bat rack on Makos. You already know you're getting mercied. It's just kind of like that's the stuff that was scary to me. My first BB core bat was a DeMarini as well.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It was a
yeah.
3128. I don't know. It was Jim Rainey. But I swung a 918 prime in high school. No, I didn't. I swung a Easton, that new Easton alloy bat. But that's what I swung in high school. It was pretty juiced. But I heard those Beezer ones are crazy compared to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the tech's getting better. So
Yeah,
I'm def-
definitely. I want to swing one of those drop fives and those hype fires that you see. You see these kids that wear so much quote unquote drip to the point where it weighs more than them.
But you said drip over skill.
That is facts. That is facts. That is facts. But like drip, you have to like
Oh, so yeah, like do you draw like where do you draw the line?
I don't know. I guess it's different for everyone. But like when your drip starts to look like you just freaking robbed the baseball store, like that's when you know it's bad. Like you have all your necklaces and all your little sleeves and everything's hanging off. I think that's like that's a little excessive. Like you get walked and it takes you like 45 minutes to take everything off and give it to your coach. Like but at the same time, to each their own.
yeah,
I feel like there's got to be a balance between the amount of drip you have and your skill level. Like I don't know why, but like I get pissed off if I see someone
Where
who has a lot of drip, but they're not that great. Like I'm like, come on, you're
what are you
focusing on
trying
the
to
wrong
say,
thing.
Justin? What are you trying to say?
We got nothing to worry about. Muffins were
I'm wearing
great.
a lot of drip and I still go for
No,
yeah.
you
But
batted
you're
like over 400, right? You batted like
Mm.
400.
I think it was 500, but
Yeah,
no
so
one's got it.
my bad.
I just play. I actually don't know what it is. I actually don't know.
No,
what
but
it is.
if like you're doing the same thing and you're barely batting 100, like
Facts.
come on.
Wait, can we actually check that? What was my average? I think you're right. I think it was like upper 400s.
Yeah, I don't know the exact average, but I remember looking towards the end of the season and you and Kevin had the exact same number of hits and at bats, which like I'm convinced is something only brothers could do. Like that's insane.
That's funny.
Yeah, we finished the season same number of yeah, the only reason he had higher on base than me is because he got hit by pitches more. Just a ball
I
magnet.
mean, whatever you got to do.
Where were you in
Let's see.
comparison to Plyer? Because that guy, he got hit like almost every
Oh yeah,
game,
he was a
like the
Oh,
first
freaking
half.
ball
Dude,
magnet, bro. Jeez.
that first oh yeah, no, second doubleheader. He got hit like 5 times over a span or 6 times over a span of 2 games. And it was like 3 hit by pitches and then 2 or 3 times where he got hit on the base paths. That was
The
crazy.
amount of bruises he had is like it was pretty brutal.
It looked bad.
Who do you
It
guys think
sounded
have
like
the
it hurt.
highest hit by pitch? You guys will actually be surprised.
I'd be
Is it on the
surprised.
Muffins or in the league?
On the Muffins.
Oh, I'm trying to think of who else got hit a
It's
lot.
actually not Plyer. Plyer only got plunked 5 times.
Only.
Oh, same. I had the same amount as him. I got plunked 5 times as well.
I think it just happened that he got hit like right in the
3
beginning of the
times.
season.
3 times in a row, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
It was
just say
actually
that
Gio.
oh damn.
Gio
Really?
got hit
You're
6 times.
being an adult and getting plunked in a men's league, those are two things that don't mesh. You have to go back into like your real world with these gnarly bruises after getting hit like the ribs or in the leg or something. You just gotta play it cool, like no, I always walk like this. Or,
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So like say
Yeah.
you're pitching, right?
Ah, you're right.
And you give up a home run or there's like beef going on between two teams, all right? And the guy that's being the most disrespectful to you and your team is up to bat. Are you gonna hit him? Are you gonna intentionally hit him?
No, strict 1, strict 2, strict 3, and then you go like this to him. He too small.
I think I'll like throw a pitch up and in or throw one of those sliders that, quote unquote don't move. And then but the goal is a strikeout, right? Like the goal is if you could sword somebody.
You want to give him the yips first.
Yeah, you want to make them a little uncomfortable. If you want to throw one up and in or just throw one up or throw into the backstop if there's nobody on base. Make them a little uncomfortable and then hit your spot, right? But you got to be able to lock back in. I don't know. I'm also, don't forget, we're from the era of baseball where like if a guy squares the bunt, like fully squares the bunt in the box,
throw
then
it
you're
at
trying
him.
to put it in. Yeah. So it's not the best. These are not the best instincts.
Aggression. You guys are from the aggression era.
Yeah.
They get mad at everything.
I actually wouldn't hit someone. I don't know.
Mhm.
I guess it's like the little superstition in me where like I
Karma.
feel like if yeah, exactly. I feel like if I'm gonna do that, then they're gonna wind up scoring, like it's gonna backfire on me. So
Mhm.
I'd rather just try and strike them out and then stare them down. But I'm not really one to
Okay.
I'm not one to say anything. Like I'm not one to chirp or anything. I don't really show my emotions out on the field, just because I don't want the other team to seem like they're getting in my head. Because like
Same.
as soon as they see an opening, like it's game over. As soon as they know that they're in your head, like it's game over for you.
That is so
Yeah.
true.
100%. I will say though,
is-
if somebody gets on first, if that annoying person or that guy who's chirping gets on first, we play on some real parking lots. So throw over to first base 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Make them fully dive face first into gravel and clay and just dirt that should have been watered, 6 years ago, and just have to get that out of their mouth. That's fun. But
That's
and if
funny.
you got a good first baseman, they'll slap tag him for you.
I
So
was just
you don't
about to
have worry.
say that. Yeah. I played on a team back in like 16U, and we had a first
Mhm.
baseman. He'd slap that tag so hard, and the umpire would have to warn him like every single game.
Who was it?
You don't know him. You didn't even know the team yet, but the dude would he'd slap. He was a lefty too, right? So he just come down really hard on it, and then it was just funny to me. Like even though we had no beef with the team, he'd still slap it super hard, and I was like, oh damn, thank God I'm on his team.
Yeah, it can get out of hand, but yeah, those guys are good to have. Absolutely.
So are we all good to move on to the end of the episode with our segment called Baked or Caked? Are you ready?
Let me go
All
get
right,
my
let's do
item.
One eternity later.
All right, we're near the end of the episode, and we're gonna start doing something new. It's called a new segment we created. It's called Baked or Caked. It's pretty much like a show and tell, like a cool or not cool, and we each bring an item that has some type of relation to baseball to us, and we present it to the other people on the podcast, and the others will be the judge whether or not this item they deem as baked, which is muffin material, yes sir, or cake, because we are a cupcake free zone here. So yeah, and who's ready to go first?
We should get that on a t-shirt, actually.
That is sick,
Cupcake
yeah.
free zone.
Right.
I'd wear that under my jersey.
Yeah.
Cupcake for you.
So in order for it to be baked, it has to have a majority vote. So at least two.
Okay. It's fair.
Who would like to start us off?
You want to start us off?
Yeah,
I mean, sure.
You want to get it started? All right.
Yeah, I could. So my item this week, it's standard,
Baked.
but it's something that has brought a lot of inspiration to me. So I brought with me a microphone.
Let's go.
So this microphone, actually not really this microphone. This microphone actually cost me $4 from Temu. but the microphone was actually what got me to have so much, like, I don't know. I feel like it drew me closer to baseball. I was able to create my own YouTube channel. Plug it, Larry Stirrups. If you guys want to give it a follow, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. But yeah, I was able to express myself to a platform. I thought it was pretty cool. It brought me closer to some people too, gave me more connections. I honestly it made the game a little more fun, because I feel like sometimes people get a little uptight in the game, and I get too caught up in this game with emotions. So I feel like the mic is a good place for me to kind of let that all out. And it's what's helped me create this YouTube channel, this platform. And yeah, inspirational. And it helps me when I go yard, off this, get the mic, see a ball. Or when I
got a question though. I got a question. Do you think your quality of play has been impacted by you purchasing this mic?
Honestly, people think, oh, not people. Papa Muffin. He thinks that it's a distraction. But I honestly don't think it matters, because at the end of the day, it's just connected to my helmet. When the pitch comes, I still have the same load, the same mindset. It doesn't really matter whether or not the mic is there. It's just in between pitches, like if I talk or something. But then again, I could see how that can play like a subconscious effect. Oh yeah, this is on. I got to do this, do that. But microphone is something that is cool to me. I always thought content was cool. Like every little kid, I wanted to be a YouTuber growing up. To this day, honestly, like I'm still studying what I'm studying in school, but if I can, like, best believe I would drop out of school in a heartbeat if it meant I could pursue doing something like this.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell Mama and Papa Muffin.
Make sure you wear the microphone when you guys have that conversation, so we can catch it on the YouTube channel.
All right.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's fun.
Nice.
What's the good? Baked is a yes. Caked is no.
Yeah.
All right, I would say that's baked.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna bake it too.
Yes.
I'm all for content creation. Like, I work in the social media industry for a living. I like creating content too, just for fun. So I have those microphones too somewhere. So I don't know. I can't find them, but yeah, baked for me.
Yes, sir. They're sick though. These mics for $4. This is sick.
Yeah, that's a steal.
I don't actually use this one in game though. It'd fall off. This one I would use like if I clipped it here maybe, but I use the cube ones.
Yeah,
Wait, so you don't actually use that one?
I've used this one before,
Thumbs down.
recent.
Video microphone. Thumbs down.
It's all good. I still got it. It's okay. So I'm the first baked person. Yes, sir. Let's see if someone could be fully baked though.
No, I'm actually gonna thumbs up it because
nice.
your answer. It didn't impact your play. That's pretty cool.
Wait, so if I answered otherwise, you would have said no? You would have given me a cupcake?
I don't know. Cupcake free zone.
You're right.
But you were super authentic in the answer though. So, that's a bake.
Appreciate you, boys. Yeah, I was hoping someone was gonna clown me and be like, "Hey, you fucking loser."
Invite different guests. I don't know.
Like, what's your batting average with the mic?
Do you know?
I actually don't. I would say at one point I was swinging it pretty hot with the mic, but then I started my mic. I couldn't figure out a way to get my mic working, but now it does. But so I stopped using the mic for a bit. But I didn't do bad with the mic. Probably batted like 500, half.
I kind of just assume you always have it on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I also have to worry about storage because I'm doing everything on my phone. I don't have like a camera, like a $2,000 camera, which I plan to invest in
Makes
one day.
sense.
All right, this is getting boring. Sorry, on my end, my end. We can move on to you guys. I don't want to bore you guys with my social media stuff.
All right. Justin, you want to go next?
Cool. Yeah, I'll go. To be honest, I'm torn about this item, but I'll just explain it. I'll share my screen and see what you guys think. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so backstory, the NFL has these sideline caps, like you can see
Oh,
here,
I've
like with
seen
the
those.
49ers, and they have like this rope thing on it, which
Mhm.
reminds me of like a fighting band or a fighting necklace or whatever.
Hmm.
Like I thought of that and I can't unsee it now. But I'm wondering what your guys' thoughts are on this if it went down the baseball route and teams wore hats like these.
I
I'm not sure
mean,
I'm a fan, but I'm curious to hear what other people think.
Wait, what's the point of the rope?
I have no idea. I don't think there is
no
a
idea.
point. I
I
think it's
think
just
it's
them
like
trying
a
to do something different.
yeah. I don't quite. It looks so. I've never seen it look really good, right? I think they start. You primarily see them in like SEC football school hats or like lacrosse type stuff. Like those are like really Southern frats or like Southern football is where I've seen them previously. But they actually look really good on the NFL hats. The Niners have a really nice one. Any team that kind of has this dark background with a nice contrast color, it looks good. I don't know. I'm an Eagles fan and it's green. Like it's all green. Doesn't look as good as the Niners one. I wish they did like a black and green, but I don't know, these look pretty cool. I don't know. You guys do something different with decided to go a different route with muffin hats, right? You went trucker
Yeah.
hat style rather than traditional baseball style. So I think it'd be cool. Insert like I think the black and pink would look good. I don't know if it would look good with like, some of the random color schemes we get in the league, but be interesting.
If it was in a muffin, if it was a muffin hat and the pink, I think that would look sick.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
what? Like a M on the side instead of the N?
Sick.
Oh, there we go.
Oh
Yeah.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. You can't have the M. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put a cupcake and then you're gonna put that red cross off. Like, no, I'm telling you. Yeah, I
That
think
is
that.
that's an interesting design, but my only concern is how comfortable would it be from the other side? Like, how does the
Mhm.
rope or this like, yeah, how does the rope kind of wrap around the bill of the hat?
Is this stitched in?
I don't know. I'm
Hey,
trying to
where's the rope
see.
go? That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it
it
is.
doesn't
Huh.
go on the
Oh.
inside, so it's just the outside.
Sick.
Hmm.
Can you customize
Okay.
those?
I have no idea.
You could probably find. I think that style's been around forever. So I think it's like a '90s thing. It's coming back. So I think you could probably customize those.
Hmm.
We also have red. Oh, I think I like the black more.
The black one's much
Yeah, that's
better.
what I'm saying, right? Once you get
Yeah.
into the colors, it doesn't look as good. But the moment
Mhm.
you go like the black on, yeah.
That is pretty cool. And honestly,
Yeah.
oh, this is still a modern hat. And honestly, it's a relatively cheap price compared to other ones I've seen on like lids and stuff.
Well, I mean,
Mhm.
it's a snapback. That's why it's expensive for a snapback. Actually, no,
Oh yeah.
snapbacks are about the same because if you're gonna get
Uh,
like a size, those ones are like 60. Well, no, no, 45.
That's crazy. I remember when fitted hats used to be like 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
inflation.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they make custom ones. You just gotta find a good I guess they're boating hats, but you gotta find a good like I think the hardest thing with custom hats is finding a good structured hat to then get like a bunch of them. Because we've
Yeah.
had, I don't know, just in NABA alone, I've gone through two or three team hats, and of the three of them, I think one of them has been decent, and that's the one I still wear, even though that color scheme and logo doesn't exist anymore. So, yeah.
Okay. What do we think, guys? I mean, I've always been a fan of hats, so I'm gonna give this a thumbs up, especially since the rope did not wrap around. If it stuck out, I don't know. I feel like that would be super uncomfortable. but since it's tucked in, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, if
Right.
you can customize that into a muffin hat, I'm baked all day.
Sweet. Yeah, I definitely think the color scheme plays like a huge role in it because like that red and gold one is atrocious. Like if I led with that, I feel if I led with that, I felt like I would have gotten 3 cakes.
That's crazy.
All right. So mine is a story because I didn't realize we needed a thing. I also have a thing if we want to go into it. I always wear something. I have a scar on my wrist because I tore the ligament that holds you two bones in your arm and your hand together in college, doing something stupid. So I put something on to have underneath my glove, which I think it just looks cool. And then this is one of those loci bracelets, but it's the LGBTQ plus theme. So always a fun little splash of color. But my baked or caked piece was so I have coached a lot since like going into college and then afterwards. And my second summer coaching a program in Connecticut, I still have all the gear from because they charged like $1,500, I think $1,800 a kid, and gave them all this gear. So then the coaches just got all this free gear. So I have shorts and pullovers and hats and shirts up the wazoo. But we had the shortstop in our team who also played football. And I don't know, Connecticut football is not a big deal. There are rarely any like guys who go to big schools to play football from small Connecticut. It's not what we're known for. So, but this like the shortstop kept being told it's like 16U. So all the guys are like 14, 15, right? So freshmen going into their freshman year, going into the sophomore year. And like he would show up like half the time. But I kept hearing like he was like God's gift to whatever he was doing. But I couldn't understand like, all right, why are you going to all these football camps, man? We're not a football state. You're never playing against small white kids is not going to make you the best thing in the world. And like after the season, I lost touch with them and stuff, and like hadn't really kept up on him. And then he did play D1 football. He started at Penn State, I think. Not on the field started, but like I think he played some games, and then transferred to Kentucky. And then next thing I know, like kid gets drafted in the second round, but it's like a big deal on draft night. So this shortstop on my 16U AAU team in Madison, Connecticut, is now the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans.
Oh,
when he's not injured. It's
That's
Will
crazy.
Levis. He looks like an entirely different person. Like I think teenage Will Levis is probably like Kevin size. Grown ass man Will Levis looks like a Superman Halloween costume.
Damn, he's flaming you, Kip. No, I'm just kidding.
Bro, you we're the same
But-
size.
Yeah, you're the same size, and then
No,
he ate
I'm
like another
slightly
person.
bigger than you.
Yeah.
That's
It's wild.
pretty
So now
cool.
he's this like he's 6'4". What is it like? I don't think they have his weight listed, but
Jeez, that's a unit right there.
He's insane. He's 6'4", 230 is his listed. But in high school he was maybe 6 foot, maybe 6'1", like 130, 150 pounds, 160 pounds. Yeah. And like he was the kid you leave your phone as a coach in the dugout or something, and you look and you have some goofy selfies on your phone from the team. I had one of those. I was like, oh shit, I lost touch with this guy. Now he's like this professional football player. So apparently those Elite 11 showcases worked out. Who knew?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I'm going baked for that story. I think that's super cool. Just like anytime you hear of a professional athlete, because like you said, you're like from a small place in
Yeah.
Connecticut. So, and you said not many people make it pro out there, much less even college. So yeah, I'm going baked. That's pretty sick.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll go baked as well. I think that's sick. Athletes, man. Athletes.
Mhm.
Oh, and
Crazy stuff.
late bloomers.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
I'm a late bloomer. Oh my God.
Yeah, me too.
I walked into high school at 4'10". I left high school at like 5'7", 5'8".
I think 4'10".
That was small. My voice didn't even change until my junior year of high school.
Wait,
It's
wait,
because I was young.
tell them about your shoe size.
Oh shit. I was size 4. I was size 4 going into high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild, but you made it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy
Fair.
because my feet grew first. Sophomore year, I went to a size 9. So I grew 5
Damn.
sizes in 1 year. Crazy.
That's wild. I've been 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", depending on who I'm talking to, since I don't know, since junior year high school. So yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
in
done
a
growing.
an American Legion World Series program somewhere, I'm listed at like 5'11", 185 as a
Oh, right.
senior in high
I
school,
like
and I
I
was
like
not any of those things.
I like showcases. I'm 6'3". At a
Yeah, you
showcase.
had 3 inches and 30 pounds, right? That's your
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, you guys had items that were like historic, but mine is actually a recent purchase. This is my 44 catcher's glove. I
Sheesh.
forgot
Let's
the exact
go.
model name, but I customized this. I got my girl's name on it too. And I
Ooh,
got it in
Nice.
black and pink color with this sort of like cream inside. It looks similar to Larry's,
Loves the
but
cream. Sorry.
okay.
Gotta put my kid. Gotta put my
Okay.
maturity somewhere.
Yeah, it looks similar to Larry's, but I wanted more black on mine. So
Mhm.
yeah, the main reason I got it was because Larry popped my other catcher gloves webbing. He popped it, so I kind of needed a new one. And also, uh, I guess what it symbolizes would be me trying a new thing, right? I've always kind of been like an infielder slash pitcher, and I just never really got into catching, but I've always liked catching. I thought it was really cool,
Hmm.
and I guess the only thing that's holding me back would be blocking because as an infielder, I kind of work through the ball or drop step, but catcher, you just sit there and you have to take it. And yeah, I guess it's just symbolizes trying something new.
All right. I baked that too. Also, that thing sounds great. So, selfishly gonna bake it for those reasons. But yeah, all those things.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Also, if you guys, there's a kid in our club team who wants to build his baseball gloves when he gets out of college, so he knows how to fix everything. So if you need any webs fixed or anything, let me know. We'll get Simon on it for you. We'll uh we'll fix your glove up. He did it for at least
Rad.
3 different guys on our team. So
Sick.
That is sick.
Yeah, I'm baked. I'm a catcher. Baked all day. Yes, sir.
yeah. Wait,
And
so
because he
Larry, do
likes
you
the
also have
cream.
a 44 glove, or do you
I
still have
do.
the
Yeah, I do have a 44 glove.
nice?
It's the same thing. It's just I don't have cream. What's so funny?
Nothing.
Oh, actually, I do have
No?
cream. Actually, I do.
All
I have more
All right,
cream
well,
than
definitely
him.
baked.
yeah, I agree. Baked as well. Can't go wrong with the black and the pink. I mean, that's muffins to the
Yes,
core.
sir.
Uh,
Mm.
I like I like the cream too.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
as a
right.
as a pitcher, it's easier for me to see the zone. Any of your girlfriend's name on it, so it's sentimental. So like, I feel like that's pretty messed up if anyone were to give that a cake.
Cake. No, I'm just kidding. I don't like it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, all bakes around. Yes, sir. Who's man? It's gonna suck for the first person who gets a cake.
I was
I
getting
I
call
know
ready to
giving
I'm
it
invite
to them.
some
I'm gonna feel so let down. I just gotta keep bringing like A1
Yes, sir.
items.
Yeah. But yeah. Does anybody else have anything to add? If that is it, wait, I did the intros. Justin or Kevin, one of you guys, do the outro.
Okay, I gotta do the spin around too.
Oh, it's been the other way.
This way to the
Yeah,
left.
yeah,
Oh, that feels wrong, even though I'm left-handed. But that's it for episode 2 of Muffins in the Oven.
yeah.
Thank you
Yes,
to our
sir.
special guest, Brian Levy, for joining us. It's been an
appreciate
absolute
it.
pleasure meeting you. Can't wait to play some ball with you. And for my co-hosts, Larry and Kevin, it's always an honor.
Yes, sir. This is a cupcake free
Appreciate you.
zone.
Absolutely no cupcakes, just our logo.